Is AA in here? Alright. Hello everybody, welcome to SFR Round 12 of 12, the season finale. We are racing in Mexico this evening. And with me I have Kachow. Welcome Kachow. How are you doing? Yes, yeah, I mean, it was looking a little bit dodgy with the attendance, but it looks like we have a good turnout this evening. It looks like we're going to have about 17 drivers, which is good. Just waiting on one more to join the lobby, which is the owner of PAFR. This is AA Gaming, his race debut in SFR.
I think Mr. Wood will also join.
Oh, and yes, we've got Mr. Woot to join as well. So that's that'll be good. That'll be good. So we're just waiting on them. And yeah, well, Mr. Woot will be here a little bit later on. He's going to miss qualifying. So yeah, we have who's just joined the lobby. There is AA Gaming, and he should be selecting the Ferrari car this evening. Ferrari, both Ferrari drivers haven't been. Oricalo and Giamma have. I think Giamma's internet has pretty much died the last few weeks, so he can't race. And I'm pretty much sure it'll be the same with Oricale as well. So yeah, we have a grid of 18, possibly 19 actually, with Mr. Woot when he shows up, when he gets out of the traffic. So Red Dog at the minute is currently taking the mick out of Mercedes because we are looking like we're going to get the wooden spoon.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it looks like the wooden spoon is firmly on its way to Mercedes this evening. I'm going to make a decision actually, because I said Ted Wardo would be getting. If he races in Mercedes this week, Ted Wardo would be getting points for Mercedes because we'd already arranged it. So yeah, thank you Anthony Hudson. We're going to make a decision on whether Ted Wardo gets the Mercedes points, because we had already discussed a couple of weeks ago that I wasn't going to be racing for the last few races of the season. And yeah, I had arranged with Ted Wardo that he would be picking up points. He's about the same pace as me. Maybe a bit more on Delta's pace. Probably he's on Delta's pace. He's faster than me. Not much, but he is a little bit faster. So we'll make a decision. We'll see how he gets on. If he gets the win, then he definitely gets the points. So the constructors and the drivers has already been decided. Both won by McLaren. FUMP for the drivers, and McLaren won the constructors. Pretty close run thing the constructors was, not necessarily the drivers. FUMP has pretty much run away with it over the season. He is very, very fast driver, isn't he, Kachow?
Oh yeah, he is. But he's not as fast also. I think his biggest attribute is definitely his consistency over the whole race. I think that's what makes him stand out.
Oh, it's crazy, isn't it? It's absolutely crazy. He just doesn't make mistakes. He's made a few little mistakes the last few races though. In Hungary he had a bit of wheel bagging action with Cornet. In Australia he got spun round at turn 3. So there is a few little mistakes creeping in, so he's not, you never know.
Maybe he's similar to early Red Bull era Vettel, like when he needs to be on his own and just drive away in the distance. Maybe he just doesn't like going through the field and go side by side. I don't know.
You say that, but Singapore, he came from P20 to P1 to win the race in Singapore. So I can't find that. Someone's asking me a question. I'm too busy. Delta's asking me a question. I'm not reading the Discord right now.
I will just looking at the pole time, considering that it's wet, dry. I mean, it's probably going to be a mid 13, low 13. Obviously, always have to look at guys like Rogers, Tommy Lee reserving. He's fast. Cornet, of course. Hounsy's good around here. He actually won an NRL in Mexico. Then obviously 5. I don't think we have to mention him.
So yeah, I did a bit of research on NRL. So the recent NRL race, it was a wet Q3 on the intermediate tyre. So the pole time in Q3 on the intermediate tyre was a 24.836, set by Cali Robb. Honesy wasn't too far behind him, so Honesy is racing tonight, and he did 25.091 on the inter tyre. So I then look back into Q2. The fastest time in Q2 was set by Rogers, and he did a 13.490. So yeah, the 13.4 is pretty much spot on with what you said. In season 1 of SFR, Cornet got pole, and he did a 13.426. So, you know, with the track evolution into Q3, into Q2, that is probably again about right. So we're looking at mid to low 13 this evening.
I'm pretty sure that the last time SFR raced here was on regular corner cutting. So
that is a very good point.
They definitely gains you a lot of time on this track.
That's a very good point.
I'm pretty sure you were wanting me to mention at some point anyways, but penalties are pretty much inevitable on this track. Doesn't matter how consistent you are, you will get penalties pretty much.
Yes, yeah, penalties are huge around this track, aren't they? They are. You're going to get them, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we had a full grid in NRA, and Mr. Lee was the only guy who did not get a penalty. Everyone else got at least one, and most guys actually got multiple penalties.
Yeah, who was the most? It was Stein, wasn't it? Very surprising. Stein got the most penalties, and he never gets penalties. So we're currently watching Rogers go into turn 4, 5, and 4 and 5, and we have just flicks to Dommy. He's invalidated, has he? Oh, I think I've just seen Dommy turn round. No, he just got a bit of oversteer, I think. So Rogers is invalidated. Teduardo in the Mercedes on a lap. Right, I've got to watch Fumpf Kugelnice. So Fumpf, we're on board with Fumpf as he comes into the stadium section. He's promised something pretty special. So let's ride on board with Fumpf Kugelnice as he comes into the stadium section. So he comes round. Here he goes. What's he going to do? He's in the stadium section. In front of his fans, his adoring fans, and yes, we have donuts. A donut. Fumpf.
Yeah, that was boring.
A donut. Very boring, Fumpf. That's very German of you.
I don't know if you saw the conversation yesterday, but I said that I'm going to donuts in Brazil on the formation lap, and I will definitely beat what Fumpf did.
Yeah, I mean it was a good attempt. It was a good attempt, but you know, it wasn't exactly perfect. So we'll let him off. We'll let him off. He is the champion, so you know. So he raced. This was his first ever race in SFR in season 1. This is the first race he actually turned up and raced in. He qualified in like P11, P12, but on the medium tyre, and his medium tyre run was a 15.117. So the medium tyre is about, you know, it's about a second and a bit off a soft tyre. And it's about the same, because I looked at Toss's time, because Toss was the only driver in NRL to set a medium tyre run in qualifying, and Toss was about 1.5 seconds off. So yeah, you're looking at about a minimum of a 1.5 second time deficit if you set on the medium tyres. Only one driver so far has got the medium tyre on, which is Lasser, and he's coming into the pits, and he has done a 15.779, so that rings about true. Honesy is on a 13.959, so he's currently about half a second off where you'd expect to be. B16.
Sorry to interrupt you there, but I'm pretty sure that Honesy with setting the time committed starting on the softs, because he won't beat that time on mediums, I'm pretty sure.
No, that's, yeah, I think the mediums is going to be a lot slower, isn't it?
Yeah.
So we have SFR commentator, who's commentated for most of the races this season, Tiny Darspike, actually in the cockpit this evening. And we also... Oh, it's PHG Vengeance has just joined us. So that's the driver who's just turned up in NRL, hasn't it?
Yeah, he raced yesterday, but I think he retired pretty early.
Okay.
So I'm not too sure what his pace is, but from what I've heard, he's pretty well. Toss said he's very fast.
Yeah,
So,
I heard he was fast. So we'll see what his kind of pace looks like. So I'm riding on board at the minute with AA. Just about to start his flying lap. He's got everything turned up to 11 as he rounds the final corner. So that final corner used to be a banking similar to what Monza was like. It was a Peralta, it was a banked curve. A bit like Parabolica, but it was banked. And quite a few major accidents. Mexican driver actually died there, so they ended up redoing the corner, and then they built the stadium there, as you see, in 1992.
we definitely did some work before the race. I like it.
They built the stadium there in 1992, and obviously Formula 1 wasn't racing in Mexico between 92 and 2014. So when Herman Tilke redesigned the track, he incorporated that chicane. And now we have that wonderful... It's a wonderful little part of the track, isn't it? It's very special to Formula 1. You don't see it all the time. AA has unfortunately invalidated his lap. And yeah, Toss with a good lap on the softs, a 14.370 coming into the pits now. Got quite a few drivers on out laps. There might be a glitch with PHG Vengeance. Obviously, as he joined the Globby late, he might not be able to set a lap time. If he does, it will get wiped out. Rogers on an out lap. Expecting big things from Rogers. He obviously got the fastest time in NRL Q2.
Well, we know that he's known as the time trial merchant.
He's the sweater, isn't he? He's a sweaty little gamer.
Did 12
I can't really hear too much of what you were saying there, Kachow. You were dropping in and out. You sound like you've been taken over by a robot. So Rogers has just started his flying lap. Slight little lock-up into turn 1, and yeah, that's Kachow's left the session. I think his internet's just dropped out. So you've got to stick with me for the time being. So Rogers heading down to turn 4 as he comes around turn 4 into 5. Very tricky part of the section with traction, and if you run a little bit wide there as well, you do get your lap time very quickly invalidated as he runs down to the very difficult S's. Let's ride on board with him through the S's. Let's see what he can do. Watch the track map, see if he does invalidate. So far so good. You don't want to run wide here. No, a little bit too much inside curve there. And Rugby Daney looks like he's doing donuts in the stadium section right now, showing Funkkugelnice how to do it, I think. Yeah, look at him go. Lots of donuts going on there. Funkkugelnice is now doing donuts as well, proper donuts. Rugby teammates in RFL, the co-owners of RFL, and they are fellow Germans, and yeah, they're doing donuts. Dommy Lee on the lap, riding on board through the S's, keeps it valid. Let's see what he can do into the stadium section. So the DRS, small short DRS straight as you head into the stadium. They've still got Rugby doing donuts there. I'm surprised he's not being disqualified just yet. Rounds the final corner, which was a huge banked corner. And what time is he going to set? It's still valid, keeps very close to the line. It's a 13.659, so that is quite close to the expected pole time we were expecting. Ted Wardo in the Mercedes, 14.7 is his fastest lap so far. Let's see what the sector split time comes up with in just a few moments time if he gets round this corner safely without invalidating, which he does. There is a yellow flag coming up. He's currently 2.5 seconds down, so there's me bigging him up, and he's actually quite far down in his time. Red Dog coming around the final couple of corners. He is 3.5 tenths, nearly 4 tenths up on his fastest time as he rounds the final corner. Comes across the start-finish line, goes 3 and a bit tenths quicker, so that pushes him up into P8 ahead of the fellow wooden spooners, Delta Lima in the Mercedes. Righty Boy currently in P10 on his soft tyres. Still got about 6 or 7 drivers yet to set a time. Rogers is on an out lap. Let's ride back on board with Righty Boy as he comes up towards the end of the first sector. He is a tenth and a bit up on his original time. Currently needs 5 tenths just to gain 1 position, but we are expecting he's he's just invalidated on the exit of 6, unfortunately. So let's jump on board now with Red Dog. I'm not sure if he's doing another lap. No, he is invalidated. Lasser's on an out lap. That's a very good lap there from Lasser for the first one anyway, a 14.266. Who else is on a lap? Red Dog's coming in the pits. B16 has just started his lap, I believe. So let's watch him on the run down to turn 1. Heavy braking zone, 1.2 kilometers straight. Heavy braking zone, shifts down to 3rd, 2nd. Short shift up to 3rd, 4th, 5th, opens up the DRS on the run down to turn 4. Another heavy braking zone after the DRS. Once again, a very tricky traction zone. You don't want to run too wide just out here. You want to keep it on the curb. You go over that curb, you will get your lap time deleted. Quite a neat little section from there. Let's ride on board with him through the S's. Let's see how much commitment he has through here. Any lifts? A tiny lift. It was quite a big lift in the end, but he manages to keep his lap time valid, so that's the most important thing. But he is 3 and a bit tenths down on his fastest lap. But he might have made a small mistake in here on his normal lap, so he might know where he can gain some time. But it was a little bit wide there, missing the apex. Comes around the final corner. He's still going to set a time, and it is going to be slower. He lost 7 tenths in total on his best lap. Cornet currently in P2 on a in lap. Lasser on a hot lap. Let's see what Lasser's got as he comes down towards. It's a good shot of his rear wing as he closes there, and he is currently up on his best time, but that was a huge lock up into turn 4. Runs a little bit wide there, but it is still valid. Rogers sets a 13.510 to get provisional pole, a 10th and a half up on his good friend Domi Lee. So Lasser through the S's. Lift comes round. And what's this sector time going to be? He is minimally up. So he's still going to, at the minute, if he hooks up this final sector, he will still be going faster, but it might not be enough to gain him any positions. It might just solidify his spot in P6 as Dart Spike sets a 13.9. He's into the minute 13, so no, Lasser has abandoned his lap. Honesy on an out lap on the soft tyres. Everyone is on the soft tyres. I'm not sure if Rugby Daney is setting a lap. He is. Let's ride on board with Rugby Daney. Wonder if he's going to do any donuts. He runs a little bit wide there, but it is still valid. He's been setting the stadium section alight recently with his donuts. Let's see what he's got as he rounds the final corner in the Williams this evening. It's not going to be a massively quick time. It's a 1 minute 16. Thumph is on an out lap. Let's see what Thumph Kugel Nice has got as he starts his flying lap. Run down to turn 1. Once again, heavy braking zone after a 1.2 kilometer straight. Keeps the car neat and tidy through 1, 2 and 3. Exit of 3 opens up the DRS, and he runs down to turn number 4. We've seen a few drivers lock up here. No lock-ups for Thumph. Maybe a tiny little snatch on the front left there. Keeps the car on the curb. Rounds that corner. There's a yellow flag somewhere on the track. No, it's already been cleared. I think it's Rugby Daney just ahead. So Mr. Woot has now joined the session. So we have a grid of 19 drivers So thank you all for turning up, making the final race of SFR a good competitive one. We have a McLaren going slowly, which is his teammate Dace, letting Fumph go. So Fumph is coming into the stadium section as we ride on board an offset TV camera pod. He's going to have his good friend Rugby just ahead of him, probably throwing out a bit of dirty air, so that might have impacted him a little bit as he crosses the line for a P3, 2/10 off Rogers. Now that is quite a surprise. We're used to seeing Fumph right up there. Cornet currently in P4 on an outlap as he comes through the S's. Who else have we got? We've got Dace just starting his hot lap, and he's going to get some... I thought he was getting some slipstream then, but he wasn't. So Dace in the McLaren got a good result a couple of weeks ago, where he got he was running in the podium until he had an incident at the end with Cool Guy, which bumped him out of the podium sitting positions, but it's still a good finish in P4 for him there. Good teamwork there from the McLaren crew, getting a bit of slipstream from each other down the second DRS straight on the lap. That's car number 19. Rounds, let's ride on board through the S is my favourite part of the track when I'm commentating, not when I'm driving. Oh, Kachal's left the party again. I think we are having a few issues with Kachal. Dace does keep it on the straight and narrow. Tries to get a bit of a slipstream from AA, but AA does a decent thing and gets out of his way. So Dace rounds the final 3 corners in the stadium, Exeter Photo Stadium. Comes around the final corner. This could be it's just into the 1:14s, and it's a P7 for him. So 2/10 off Holmesy's time. Who else have we got on a lap? We've got Lasser on a lap as he's coming through the S's. Let's jump on board with him. Rogers is on an out lap. Dommy Lee is on a flying lap. There's a little bit of a tow there from Tostig Kaber. Fumph has been disqualified. Not sure what happened with Fumph Kulkornice there. Yeah, he's been disqualified, so that's going to put him right to the back of the grid. He's going to do another last to first, I think. And Lasser, what a time from Lasser! 2 and a bit tenths off pole position, so that puts him in a very good position for the race. Cornet is abandoning. Or is he going to go again? He's charging up his battery, obviously invalidated at quite an awkward time. Let's ride on board with Tiny Darth's bike. He's already done a really good lap so far. In car number 22 in the Haas. Oh, he gets blocked by Lasser as Lasser retires. That's not good from there as we go 000. That is going to impact Ben Smith massively, unfortunately. Yeah, he does abandon. So yeah, we'll see what comes of that afterwards. So we've got all the drivers on a lap. Let's ride on board. Who is that going slowly? Cornet is abandoned again. Rogers sets a... he goes quicker. 14.429, which is... yeah, 3 thousandths off Cornet's fastest. And a little bit faster in, probably from Season 1. Cornet's fastest in Season 1 and a little bit quicker than NRL Q2. So that is the track evolution we were talking about. Holmesy's retired. Dommy Lee has done that time. Ted Waldo currently P9 in the Mercedes. Comes round the final couple of corners. And let's see what he's got. B16 and Red Dog are currently P10 and P11. Ted Waldo goes a little bit faster but stays in P9. Righty Boy currently P14. Has abandoned. Rugby has abandoned. And we've got AA Gaming, PhD Vengeance, Mr. Woot, and Fumph has obviously been disqualified as well. Let's see what's going on. Yeah, Kachal's internet has completely gone. We did hear he was acting a bit like a robot. So I think he'll join as and when he can. So Rogers has put the car, the Alfa Romeo, on pole. It's obviously a long run down to turn 1. It's not necessarily the best place to start in P1, as you've got the benefit, the drivers behind have got the benefit of the slipstream off the race start. Your race start has to be absolutely perfect as Cornet and... no, it's not Cornet, it's the other Alpha Tauri of... Not sure who that was, but they were coming a bit to blows. So as we have the cooldown between qualifying and the race, you have Rogers on pole, Domi Lee in second on the first row, Lasser on the second row in P3 with Cornet in the Alpha Tauri. There is Darth Spike and Honesy on the third row, Dace and Toss on the fourth, Ted Wardo in B16 on the fifth row. Then we have Red Dog in P11, Medwards, Delta, Righty Boy, Rugby, PHG Vengeance, Mr. Woot, AA Gaming and Fumph, who all have free tyre choice. So the last 9 drivers all get free tyre choice. Not sure what the strategy is here, if I'm being honest. It's one of those tracks where there's two different drivers, two different strategies which is available. Kachow has now rejoined, so hopefully he'll be able to fill me in on what the best strategy is, because Kachow is a strategy king. Are you back?
I hope you can hear me.
I can hear you. You're not a robot anymore.
Okay, great. So strategy, pretty easy to stop. Soft, medium, soft, medium, whatever. But it's two stop.
It's a two-stop. So we've got a few drivers selecting mediums outside the top 10. You've got Red Dog, Medwards, Righty Boy and Rugby all selecting the mediums so far. So if you start on the mediums, what you're going to do, a medium run, then soft, yeah?
Pretty much, yeah. I think if you struggle with tire wear, you should do soft, maybe medium, soft, medium, or medium, soft. But the tire degradation isn't too high. Like you can do the one stop, but it's the tires just completely drop off. You're going to be way too slow in the end, while everyone else is on fresh softs.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what, Delta Lima is in this party as well, so let's call Delta Lima and let's get a driver's perspective of what Jeff is telling him. Delta, can you hear us?
Yeah, loud and clear.
Good, so what's your strategy without giving too much away?
Well, recommended strategy is Kachow saying you get a soft medium or a soft hard, or you can attempt the reverse strategy if you're outside the top 10 and start on the mediums. Don't necessarily need the hard tyres, to be honest. Mediums and soft will make it the distance. But yeah, be interesting to see what everyone goes on.
Yeah, Fumph did have the hard tyre on, but he's now changed to the medium, so it is just AA and Delta Lima in the outside of the top 10 who have selected the soft tyres. They might be fiddling about very shortly. Obviously the top 10 all have to start on the soft tyres. So as and when, we might drop in with Delta Lima during the race, driver's eye view of what's going on. It's always handy to have. So, Kachow, who's your vote for the winner of this race?
I'm just looking at the grid right now because I got booted.
Oh, of course you did. Of course you did. You got hooked.
So I see Rogers on pole.
Yes.
I know about his pace on this track. He got a drive-through in NRL and still finished P5, I think.
Okay, so yeah, he's pretty quick.
I mean, you obviously have I mean, like you said, it doesn't matter where this guy starts. He won from last in Singapore last week. But I'm still going to go with Rogers for the win.
Good shout.
Actually, I don't know. I mean, I think we can expect like 12 seconds of pens from him at least.
Well, I'll tell you what. Let's after turn 1, 2, and 3. I'll get your prediction because obviously the run down to turn 1 is long. It's not normally the best place to start in P1, is it?
No, not really. And then you also have Domi and P2 on a pad, and we all know about the pad hacks, so I'm pretty sure he's going to be P1 into turn 1.
And you got Lasser, great qualifying from Lasser there in P3, Cornet in P4, Darth Spike in P5 coming in at the last minute, Honesy P6, Dace P7, Toss P8, and Ted Wardo P9, B16, P10. So that's your top 10. All drivers in the bottom half have all selected the medium tyres, so it's going to be the top 10 on softs, the bottom 9 on mediums. So Domi has overtaken Rogers going down to turn 1 on the formation lap. We haven't started the race just yet, obviously. It's the formation lap. Yeah, penalties are going to play a huge part in this race. Honesy's a driver who doesn't normally get it, so if he can bide his time, he might get a good position from P6.
I think Honesy in general, I think you can kind of compare him to Fünf. Not always the best qualifier, they are always up there of course, and they get a pole here and there, but it's they both just dominate the races usually. They're both just great on race pace and just consistency in general.
Yes, Holmes is a very consistent driver. He's struggled recently though a little bit, hasn't he? NRL, he's made a few mistakes. He hasn't raced very much in SFR this season, so can't really compare his form here, as Rogers has pulled away from the pack quite a bit. He's going to have to slow down a little bit before the AI takes over.
Getting temperature in those rears, some burnouts, which I like to do as well, but I keep spinning on the formation lap, so I'd stop doing it because I don't want to embarrass myself.
Yeah, and it does burn your tyres out as well. It really does burn your tyres out.
Yeah, yeah.
It heats them up too much. I had that issue in Hungary.
I remember that, yep.
Yeah, spun twice on the formation lap and I had my tyres were hotter than the sun.
It was great to watch. It was very entertaining.
It wasn't, because that was a good race for me. That's probably my best track on the game, and yet I messed up. My own fault. But so let's jump on board with Rogers. It's gonna. I haven't set anything up because it's going to. Yeah, it's going to kick it out. So we've got 5 lights. They're all slowly going out. Here we go. Not a great camera view. I've got the F1 sign in the way. They've started, but no one's moved. So we have a glitch here somewhere. Can you see anything, Kachao?
Oh, they're still standing.
They're still sat there. So here we go. They're away. Okay, so Codemasters, thank you very much for glitching our final race. Rogers gets an amazing start from P1. Cornet gets an amazing start already up into P2. So Rogers should be pretty much protected on the run down to turn 1. No one is making that dive bomb into turn 1. It looks like they're all getting... There's a racing point there. It's spun round. Is that big B16? He is spun round. He is back on track, on the green, on the grass, but he is going to be running pretty much dead last. So, Rogers has pulled a gap of a second already on Cornet. Cornet and Domi Lee are fighting into turn 4. Both Alpha Tauris. That's a good move there from Domi up the inside. Pushes Cornet a little bit wide, but all good, fair and clean racing there. Darspike is at the minute is Alfa Romeo, followed by Alpha Tauri, Haas and Haas fighting for positions on the track. Dace in P6 in the McLaren. Fünf has gained a couple of spots. Let's get the position gained. Where's the positions gained? Position changes. Here we go. So a few movers and shakers. The biggest loser is B16, who's down into P19. And a few drivers have made a few. AA Gaming's made up 3 positions. Oh, what's happened there? Looks very messy into that stadium section there. Rogers sets the fastest lap of the race.
Rugby Gaming went completely deep into the fast right and then just tried to send it down the inside of AA.
Oh, okay.
Just hit him in the side.
Oh, we're missing a battle at the front between Domi and Cornet. So Cornet has taken their side-by-side running. Who's going to get the move? Cornet on the inside. Domi going back. Exactly the same thing what happened in the last lap. But this time, Domi is on the outside now. Cornet's on the inside. There we go. Still side-by-side as we head into the S's. Let's ride on board with Domi, who is just behind. And let's flick between the two. Oh, Cornet's out wide. He might be getting a warning for that. Oh, wonderful racing. Wheel to wheel through the S's. It's not something you see all the time. And both AlphaTauris are putting a bit of a show on for us. Creating a bit of a traffic jam behind, though, with Lasser.
Sending it.
Oh, I was going to try and cut away, but I can't. I can't cut away from this little battle. They've been side by side for pretty much the whole lap. Well, the first 2 laps really, and it's meaning Rogers is absolutely. Oh, Tommy! No, 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 no! Oh, no! Oh, no! I bet Cornet is currently absolutely wetting himself in that cockpit of the. Hasn't Dommy just moved to no traction control, or was he just doing it as practice in TT before the new game?
No, I think he completely turned it off like a month ago. I think
okay, so
the league when Steve Race was his first chase.
That was pretty epic. Both Haas go side by side into turn 4. Cornet is now going to have to try and pick up the pace a little bit and try and catch up with Rogers as he's pulling quite a gap. Both Haas are still fighting side by side. Let's ride on board with those. As they go into the S's, Darspike gives up the position to Lasser, so Darspike is going to fight back. You've had 2 penalties already. Dommy Lee, who got that spinning penalty as he exited the last corner, and AA Gaming's got a penalty, and so has Ted Wardo. I think they're all 3 seconds. Let's see what we got. Penalties, 3-3-3, yeah, 3 seconds each. So we're going to run down, let's ride on board. Rogers sets a 1:18.061, another fastest lap, so he is on fire at the minute, pulling that gap. So we're going to have Honesy, Dartspike and Lasser all within a couple of tenths of each other. Honesy pulls out of the slipstream, he's going for the move on Dartspike. Is he going to make it? Is he going to make it? He's made it into the braking zone. So Dartspike is currently running in P5 now. Honesy's got Lasser just ahead of him. And let's see what are the other gaps. Are the other... Oh, who's in the pits? B16's in the pits. What's happened to him? New front wing for B16. So he drops to last place on the grid, which is very, very good for the wooden spoon.
Oh, Delta! No, you can hear us. That was a bit late.
It's Delta being a bit...
Yeah, he went into the back of Red Dot going into turn 4, but hopefully
he's just nudging him along. He doesn't want to get this wooden spoon for Mercedes. Just nudging him along, making sure he knows he's there. Let's follow him through the S's as he follows. The dirty air is horrible, isn't it? Especially through the S's here.
Yeah, it's bad, especially when later through the stint when you start getting the tire wet.
Oh, Righty Boy's been spun round by a McLaren of Fumph, I think that was. Righty Boy put in the wall. Oh dear. Literally jumped on board with Righty Boy as that happened. So he's got all of his front right wing missing. It's going to be a pit stop for him, which is going to ruin his race on the medium tyres as he was pretty set there. He might go on to the hards. Will the hards make it to the end here?
I don't think so, but even if they don't, he can go onto the hards and stretch them and then go into the mediums again, because everyone will do a 2-stop. It's just a very early stop for him, sadly.
So Toss the Caber, as HBT the One has mentioned in the comments on YouTube, was P6. No, he's not P6 anymore. He's P5. He's overtaken the tiny of Dartspike. In his Renault, in his pink helmet in the Renault this evening. So Dartspike has lost, what, 1 position from his qualifying spot. 4 lap old softs for the top 8. When's the pit stop here? When would you pit? About lap 6, lap 7?
I think I went in around lap 9.
Oh, okay, so they do push it quite far here then.
Yeah. But the undercut it's insanely powerful on this track.
That's very true.
The most powerful track for the undercut.
So what, if you go onto a medium tyre about lap 7, you could gain probably a couple of positions and gain quite a lot of time there. Oh, Toss on the grass, but he does. He doesn't impact him too much. I thought there could have been a car crash there as AA has overtaken Delta. Let's ride on board with AA. He's got 2 cars coming up, line astern just behind him, including a Williams of PHG Vengeance, fellow Australian. Sorry, that was a really bad Australian accent. I will not do that again, I promise. I apologise, Nick. Nick, if you're listening to this afterwards or live, I do apologise for that. PHG Vengeance currently in P14, so Delta's now dropped to P15.
Maybe he did get damage.
Yeah, has he got damage? Has Delta got damage? No, it all looks pretty fine, but he has said his pace here isn't very good. His pace isn't brilliant. It's currently up to P10, so he's gone from P19 to P10 in a few laps, so he is chasing hard. Rogers is still pulling away at the front from Cornet. Oh, but Rogers, as I ride on board with Rogers, he has lost. No, it wasn't Rogers, sorry, it was Cornet. Cornet lost it on the exit in the stadium section, so Honesy's now got him, and Lasser is filtered in just behind him, and he is probably going to get it at the exit here. Here we go. Lasser on the inside of Cornet gets it done. Is he going to make a move on Honesy into turn one? Give me a better camera shot, please. No. That's it. No, we're all good. So Lasser filters in behind Honesy, but he has now got the benefit of DRS down this straight. Lasser is going to go inside, is he? Honesy's going to show him the inside, but Lasser does give it up. Honesy keeps that position. Lasser's going to go for the switch back up the inside. That is a good move there from Lasser. He's now got the inside line into the U-shaped hairpin, and Lasser is ahead into the S's. That's a great move. Great couple of corners there from Lasser. He's gained 2 positions in half a lap.
Meanwhile, Delta just coming out because he did change his front wing. So.
Oh, he did change his front wing. Okay, so it must have been very minimal damage, but it can impact you quite a lot here. He's onto the hard tyre.
Maybe he listened to what I said about the hard and then medium strategy.
Yeah, maybe he did. Maybe he did. He is in the party with us, so he's got front row seats to our beautiful commentary. So Toss is now up to P as Cornet gets obviously got damage. What? Who's got 8 seconds?
Cornet.
Has he? Doesn't say he has.
It says 8 seconds for me.
Yes, it does say 8 seconds. Yeah, but he didn't serve any time in there. Maybe no, he sped into the pits. You don't serve it straight away when you speed into the pits, do you?
No, you don't. You don't. Next pit stop.
So Domi and Cornet were running P2 and P3 for the first 2 laps. On lap 8, they are currently running P15 and P16. So quite a big change around in fortunes for the Alpha Tauris there. Honesy is 4/10 behind Lasser, as Rogers now has an 8.2 second lead out in front. So he is just bossing this race now. He's got 70% worth of ERS left. At the minute, he is just driving away. His form in SFR this season has been very, very patchy. You know, lots of incidents that necessarily haven't been his fault. And Honesy picks up a 3-second time penalty. But the last 2 races, Rogers has really brought it to he's brought his NRL form into SFR, and he is currently pulling away here. He can boss this race now. He doesn't have to. He can save his ERS, save some fuel, save his tyres, and see how he goes. Very impressive Lasser's race this evening. Currently in P2. Again, another driver whose first half of the season form was pretty poor, but second half of the season has been brilliant, as Honesy's going to try and go around the outside of turn 1. Lasser is hanging it in there into turn 2, and they're side by side on the exit of turn 3 as Honesy goes wide. Honesy's going to have the benefit of the DRS going down into turn 4. What's Lasser going to do? Lasser hangs it in the middle of the track and makes Honesy go the long way around at turn 4, but that gives him better traction on the exit, and he's got the position done and dusted into the U-shaped hairpin. So Honesy is back ahead, and this is brilliant news for Toss and Darspike, who are just behind them. They're looking to pick up any scraps, and it's obviously good for Fumph as well, because he's currently 8 seconds back down the road, but the more they fight, the more time he is going to gain.
He's very loose on lot of the S's. So
who was loose? Toss?
No, Honesy.
Oh, Honesy,
so I'm
okay.
pretty sure they will come in the next few laps. Well, they have to. I mean, we know that Honesy tries to do some... Yeah, there we go.
So are we having pit stops yet?
Yep.
Honesy in the pits.
Ooh.
Rogers stays out. Rogers is pushing. He can push this stint as long as he wants. The more he pushes, the more chance he's got of running a second set of softs at the end of the race. Lots of speeding penalties into the pit lane as Darspike does pick one up.
Tiny Darspike gets failed because Lasse went in at the same time.
Oh no, that's going to ruin Dark Spike's race. He's having a really good one. He might only lose a few seconds, but a few seconds in Formula 1 is an absolute lifetime. Yeah. So Fumpf has now got lots of clean air. He is probably... what's the pit stop loss here?
It's not too much. I think it's like 17, 18 seconds maybe.
It's because it's quite a long straight and you lose a lot of time going 50 mile an hour down the pit straight, don't you?
Yeah, and when you come out of the pits, the guys on track obviously have much more momentum. So you might come out ahead of them, but then you just get even on straight.
Red Dog picks up his first penalty of the race. So he is currently on 3 seconds. He got, as I say, Cornet on 8. So the next time he pits, 5 of those seconds will go. Tedwardo's got 8. Speeding pit lane. Dark Spike's obviously got 5 for speeding in the pit lane. And the rest are all on 3 seconds. Honesy gets Rugby Daney on the inside, but goes very, very wide on the exit there.
So is Rogers staying?
No, Rogers must be pitting. He's coming out of the pits. I was going to say, because that time I thought he might have made a mistake there because the time was huge. He was losing. I was a bit worried for him, but no, he's just coming out the pit lane on medium tyres. So yeah, he's doing probably going to do what, the soft, medium, soft.
Yeah, probably. So this gap was around 19.5 seconds. So I think it's pretty much 20 seconds.
Yeah, 20-second pit lane loss, isn't it? But Fumpf is obviously on old medium, so this should be quite an easy move for Rogers here. If Fumpf is a very clever Formula 1 driver, so he probably won't fight too hard because Fumpf knows that the more time he loses fighting, the less chance he's got of getting that podium, which he's probably going to be after today. Great aerial shot as Rogers goes through the S's. That's a fantastic shot of Rogers' car there. Still following Fumpf Google Nice. 5 scoops of ice. Gets very, very close to him inside the braking zone. He's going to have the benefit of DRS. There's no point making a silly move into any corner. You might as well just wait for this long straight because you're going to get the move done pretty easily. Dobby Lee's up to P5. Cornet behind him, 3/10 behind him in P6. So the AlphaTauri is with Honesy just behind him on the fresher rubber. So what's Honesy going to pull out is Delta gets a 3-second time penalty. Honesy is overtaking, he's side by side with Cornet, and he's got Domi Lee's boxed him in a bit, but Honesy does move back out, but Cornet then moves on around the outside of Domi Lee, and brakes are glowing red hot as there's such a heavy braking zone. Cornet gets the move done on Domi. Honesy has to settle for keeping his position. Mike Edwards is obviously up into P4 on pit stops, but is having a good race, good clean race here. Started on the mediums, so... oh, it's 4 cars wide. Lasse loses the back end a little bit there.
All this fighting is costing so much time in the battle with them.
Yeah, but I don't care if they're losing time. It's so good to watch all this fighting, isn't it? It's so good watching all these. Yeah, I mean, this is what I mean. NRL and SFR, PAFR, we're all the same. It's hard racing, it's fair racing, but let's be honest, it's brilliant racing to watch, isn't it? It's
most of the time very clean as well.
Yeah, exactly.
No dirty tactics, so
mistakes happen. Mistakes happen. You know, drivers outbrake themselves. Bit of wheel bumping, spinning around, but you know, it's most of the time it's all fair, and it normally ends pretty well as well. Honesy is now making the move on Lasse. So these 4 drivers have pretty much been, and then Domi and Cornet again. Lasse just cuts the whole apex off. He doesn't want to do an apex today. I always think there's a bit of carbon fibre being thrown off the car.
That's very, very late from Lasse there on the braking.
All I saw was the Ferrari going off track a little bit. Yeah, I didn't really see what happened.
Lasse was moving towards him, so I mean, Honesy never reports anything, so I don't think the stewards will look at that, but it looked very dodgy.
So let's look at some other drivers on the grid today. PHG Vengeance, currently in P15 on the medium tyre. Has he stopped yet? He has stopped. Ted Wardo in P14 has stopped. The drivers who haven't stopped yet: Red Dog, Rugby, Medwards, Mr. Woot, and Kugel. Nice. We have Cornet has just overtaken. Oh, sorry, Medwards is in the pit lane, so that's why he's dropping down the grid. Let's have a look at. Watch this pit stop there from Renault. Tyres going on, tyres going off. Pulls away. Righty Boy has picked up a time penalty. So winner of time penalties right now. Holmesy's got 9 seconds. Wow.
Yeah. You don't see that often.
Rogers has 3.
Yeah.
AA has 16 seconds worth of penalties. Righty Boy has 9.
16. This is 9 from you.
Sorry, did I say 16? I meant 9. I said P. Sorry, I meant P's in P16 with 9 seconds worth of penalties.
Okay.
Oh, Righty Boy has retired. That's a retirement in the pit lane though, so yeah, that's just a bad day at the office for Righty Boy in his Red Bull. That's his SFR season done and dusted already. Not how he would have wanted to end, but it happens. Fumph is in the pit lane, so he is going to have... What do you reckon he's going to do? Onto the softs? No, medium.
Oh, it's mediums.
So he's going to be running the softs at the end. So he's guaranteeing himself another pit.
Also, fun fact, I remember that you were complaining about the fact that when you're spectating in the pit stops, that the tires never fully go off.
Yes.
So from what I've seen from the new game, I think that they changed that. So the tires do go off.
It's the same with the front wing as well. They just put a front wing on without taking the other one off. It's annoying.
Yeah.
Mr. Woot currently P2. Obviously hasn't pitted yet, but yeah, running P2. Cornet's Lasser and Holmesy. Let's jump on board with those. Red Dog has pitted, I believe, onto a hard tyre. So he's going to be going to the end, I take it, with, what's that, 15... how many more laps is that? 21 more laps. Will 21 lap? Will you do 21 laps on a hard tyre? What do you reckon?
You're so far right now. I don't know. Can you repeat that maybe?
Say that again, sorry?
Did you ask me? Because,
yes.
Oh yeah, okay. Oh, dummy, what? So from now on, you can go to the end on hards.
Yep.
Sure?
Mr. Woot puts a set of softs on. You've obviously got a friend watching you, Jack Davis. Hello, Jack. Come on, Mr. Woot, getting your time in the spotlight again. He was, but he's now in P10, P11, P12. Obviously, he was ahead on pit stops. But he's having a great race so far. Got a bit of clean air, is this? He's got a driver coming up just behind, the Renault of Mike Edwards. And he stays ahead, so he's got some 5.5 seconds worth of clean air ahead of him and Ted Wardo, who is fighting currently a PhD Vengeance. Rugby, P9. Darth Spike is currently in P8. Fumph is P7 with Tiny Darth Spike just behind him, 4/10.
Penalties, of course. 5 minutes rule taken off when he fits. I'm a bit surprised by Domi's strategy choice, because the hards are pretty useless on this track. Maybe he hit someone and got damage.
Right, just bear with me just a second. Just get to mute my mic.
Very well. It's a lot of penalties. 9 seconds already. Beneath actually how far he is behind Rogers. 24.5 seconds. I don't think he's going to make that up. Obviously, there's always the possibility of a safety car.
I'm surprised there hasn't been a safety car just yet.
Yeah, yeah. Very easy to crash in the S's. Once your tires go off, you just lose the car and boom you in the wall.
So tyre age, B16 has had his hard tyres on for 12 laps, Delta's had his hard tyres on for 9 laps. Delta's coming into the S's now. Let's ride on board with Delta as he goes through the S's. Let's see what he's got. Oh, he did miss the apex. There's an apex there somewhere, Delta. Find the corner. That's it. Oh, he nearly loses the car. Let's ride on board with him through the stadium as well. Let's try and put him off a little bit. We're in his cockpit. He's in 4th gear as he comes round into the stadium. Look at this.
Very pretty nice.
Braking zone. That was nice. That was good. Bit of understeer on the exit. Keeps it tight as he hits the straight, and I'm very much expecting him to come on the stream now and shout at us.
Shut your mouths.
Hello, Delta. AA Gaming up to P14 on the medium tyre, 8 lap old mediums. Medward's just ahead of him in P13, 4 tenths off Dommy Lee on 2 lap old hard. So Mike Edwards is going to have the pace advantage over Dommy. Dommy's a very quick driver in his own right though, so we'll see what if Dommy can pull away or if Medwards is going to be able to stick with him and maybe overtake him. Tedwardo currently on 8 lap old mediums. Mr. Woot on 1 lap old softs, so he's going to be going pretty fast at the beginning. Tedwardo picks up another 3-second time penalty. So Mr. Woot is he going to be going for fastest lap? I haven't got any of his sector times up just here. I think he's glitching a little bit. I don't think his internet is the brilliant. Delta Lima picks up a 3-second time penalty. And Mr. Woot goes 6 tenths faster, but it's not fast enough for the fastest lap. Could you find me what's the fastest lap so far? Fastest lap is a 16.7 set by Fump, so that was quite far off the fastest lap for the race overall. Big block up there from PhD Vengeance into turn 1 on the right hand side, but he is on 9 lap old medium, so they will be starting to feel not very fresh. What is the penalty situation? Ted Wilder's got 11 seconds, Cornet's got 14, Honesy's got 12. It's very surprising from Honesy.
I think he doesn't care at this point.
Fair enough.
He's going to drive and wants to get in some nice weather. Last race of the season, so
we're gonna, yeah, exactly. We're gonna have to do some quick maths later and work out. So Fump hasn't got a penalty yet. Mr. Woot hasn't got a penalty yet. Medwards hasn't got a penalty, and B16 haven't got penalties. So we'll try and do some quick maths. But Rogers has a 15-second lead, and if you total in penalties to that, his lead is currently 26 seconds. So yeah. 26-second lead at the minute. Cornet is going to have another, whether he pits next, he will have 5 seconds taken off that. Let's get the broadcast view back. I'll keep riding on cockpit. So the race has settled down a little bit now. There's gaps quite far. Mr. Woot is probably the closest with PhD Vengeance. Let's ride on board with Mr. Woot. Is he going to make a move into turn 1? No, he's not. Tedwardo is fighting with Dommy Lee into turn 1. Dommy Lee goes round the outside. Ted does give that up, and he filters in between Medwards and
I remember
Dommy.
Why Dommy is on the hards, because he pitted way too early when he spun into the pit lane.
Accidentally pitted, yes.
That's why. Yeah.
Ted's trying to go around the outside there of Dommy Lee into turn 4. And Medwards goes up the inside of him into the U-shaped hairpin. I think is it a hairpin? It is pretty much a hairpin, isn't it?
I hate this corner.
Yeah, it's awful.
Yes.
You feel like you should be taking it faster, but you can't. It is...
Yeah. And then the next, if you just want to get on throttle, but you can't. And then
right. Right on board with Fumph down the straight. He is pretty much right up the on the gearbox of Toss the Caber. Makes the move into Beaven before the break with Toss. Ooh. I thought Toss was going back for the overtake up the inside there, but I don't know what he was really doing there. But no, Toss gives up that position. Good overtake there by Fumph, and he's currently into P5. Holmesy is only half a second behind Cornet as they head just started the second sector, round that U, and they're going to ride on board into the S's. So let's ride on board with Holmesy through the S's, shall we? Let's see what Holmesy's got for us. This is where the majority of penalties are picked up, isn't it?
Yeah, that turn 2 and 3.
Another nice aerial shot of Holmesy as he exits the S's into the stadium. Let's hope we get this camera shot through the hole. We don't. It cuts back to that. Any other gaps? What else are we looking at on the stream here? Delta Lima catching up to Rugby Daney.
Holmesy pitting.
Holmesy's pitting, is he? Interesting. So what tyre is he going to go onto now? He's got 14 laps left. Is that a medium tyre?
Yeah. I don't know. That's the right decision. I mean, he will definitely be ahead of Cornet, undercut, and of course the 5-second penalty. But I'm not too sure if that's the right choice.
Well, we have Cornet on 13 lap old mediums at the minute. B16 on 16 lap old hards. So he's going to be giving data to Red Dog because Red Dog's on 5 lap old hards. Everyone's made 1 stop apart from Holmesy and Domi Lee, who have made 2. We're going to have to rename the memes channel in the Discord to Domi Lee because that was pretty epic. Mr. Woot chasing down Darth Spike, getting his dirty air. He's got the benefit of the fresh soft tyres. So let's see what Mr. Woot has got. He's going to sit in behind him. He's got the benefit of the DRS here, but he's too far back to make anything happen into the braking zone. He's going to follow him through the stadium. Cornet sped in the pit lane again, another 5-second time penalty.
Oh no.
There's a speed limit for a reason, mate. Watch out for the marshals. Dace has got a 5-second time penalty. So, so Mr. Woot is chasing down and weaving Ben Smith. NRL compatriots. Mr. Woot's going down the inside. Darth Spike isn't fighting massively too hard because Mr. Woot has got the benefit of those fresh softs. So Mr. Woot currently P5. How many penalties has he got? And Mr. Woot again, no time penalty, so this is going to play massively at the end. If he can keep this, he could be on for a podium here.
Yeah, definitely.
Rogers has a 20-second lead on. He's had a very boring race. It's just good for him. He needs a boring race. Get his first win.
He never won an SFR.
No, he's had one P2. That's it. A few pole positions, a few fastest laps, but never won. So Lasser coming into the pit lane. What tyre will he be going on to with 12 laps left? A fresh set of softs? Will they just about make it, or would it be mediums again?
Mediums. Yeah, it's mediums. Or lesser. Mediums for toss.
And so the race is going to come alive a little bit now. We've got to have a look at the gaps and see what's happening. All the drivers though are within about a second of each other. Most of the top 10 pretty much within a second of each other, apart from Rogers, who is checked out. He checked out on lap 1. Mr. Woot currently in that podium position in P3 with no time penalties, along with Fumph, Medwards and Big Boy with no time penalties either, so they're having very clean races. Everyone else has got a minimum of 3. Mr. Woot only has 1 warning as well. Wow, so he's having a very, very good race. The Welshman. So Fumph in P2. Holmesy in P5 with 12 seconds. Ben Smith has got Holmesy for company into the stadium section. Let's have a look at their tyre life. What's their tyre life like? Holmesy is on 1 lap old fresh mediums. Darth Spike has 13 lap old mediums, so he should be thinking about pitting very soon. Honesy is probably going to have an overtake done even before the DRS line. Yep, he's already ahead before the DRS is even opened. And Mr. Woot a bit further ahead up the road. So Honesy is currently second behind him. He's chasing him down hard. Mr. Woot will have to pit again, obviously. He will probably go on to, what, another set of softs from this point in the race?
Yeah. I was going to say that I think that Rogers should come in this next lap to go into...
Currently, he is lapping Ted Wardo.
And he's not coming in yet.
Not coming in the pits, so he's going to do a 10-lap sprint at the end, you reckon?
Yeah, he has to, I think, because the gap is not going to get any bigger because Fünf obviously on pressure mediums. If he decides to pull the trigger early and go on this side, which he doesn't, so never mind. Let's stop off.
So with 10 laps left, we're looking at another round of pit stops. Anyone who pits now will probably be going on to the soft tyre. Is Mr. Woot coming in the pits? Yes, Mr. Woot pits. So he's going to have a 10-lap sprint to see what he can do. Still no time penalty. He braked in time. He adhered to the speed limit. So when he comes, soft tyres on. Let's see what Mr. Woot's got. Drops down to P10, maybe P11. Where's he coming out? What drivers are coming out? He is currently in P10. Cornet gets another time penalty. So Cornet is currently running with quite a lot. 20 seconds. He is the winner of today's race so far by quite a distance on time penalties. Fünf still has none. So Rogers has got a 16-second lead over Fünf Kugelnath. How many pit stops has Fünf done? Is it just the one so far? Yeah, so Rogers and Fünf have both done one stop. So they're going to have to pit again as their tyres... Rogers is in, is he? So he was on 15-lap-old medium, so he's got onto a fresh set of softs. Fünf now is rounding. It will... Hang on a minute. Will Fünf be able to go to the end here?
Nah, he started on mediums. He has to pit again.
Oh, yes, he did. That's very true. He does have to pit again. Yeah, Jack, Woot always performs when he's watching. Yes, that's very true. He is performing, Mr. Woot, today. Quite an unlucky driver in SFR. When he does start at the back, I've mentioned this before, when he starts at the back he does go through the field quite nicely and gets a good race position. When he starts at the front he does tend to drop back quite quickly. So PhD Vengeance is currently in the pit lane. Cornet is in the pit, serving 5 seconds of one of his many time penalties he has today. Car number 87. It's his birthday on the 8th. It's his sister's birthday today. He sacked his sister off to race in this race tonight. But he did graduate college, school this week. I don't know what they call it in the Netherlands, but he did graduate. So congratulations to him. No more school. So Rogers is currently coming up behind Kugel. Nice. We have a yellow flag. We have Dace retiring, but that looks like it's in the pit lane. So no safety car as Fünf pits.
Either will hold him up.
Maybe.
I'm pretty sure it will.
So Dace is out of the race. Hey, that rhymes.
Yeah, it hurt. Not too much, but it did a bit.
Dace leaves the race. Rhymes. Lasser currently into P3. How many time penalties has Lasser got? Lasser's got 6. And he's currently 6.5 behind Honesy with 12. So they are pretty much spot on come the end of the race. Domi currently made a good comeback drive into P4, but he will have to pit again, I take it? No, he's got 12-lap-old hard, so he should be able to make it to the end. Everyone has made 2 stops apart from Mike Edwards, who is on the 1 stopper so far. What's his tyre wear like? 13-lap-old medium so far, so he's got another 8 laps to go. Will the mediums do 21 laps?
Ooh, I think they can. Maybe a bit of a stretch.
He's driving very smoothly. He hasn't picked up a time penalty yet, so he's not pushing as hard as he probably possibly could.
Yes, he will stay out and just Just risk it.
Hope for a safety car. So Rogers sets the fastest lap of the race with a 1 minute 15. Let me confirm that time. 1 minute 15.269.
Oh, Toss leaving a lot of space for Fumpi. Fumpi with a very, very late lunge on Toss. But Toss just plays along. Very good driving there from spots.
So Rogers has got the fastest lap by quite a distance. Second and 1.6 seconds faster than anyone else's attempt. 1.5 maybe? 1.5. No. Dark Spike's on a 15.9. I'm giving him a bit of injustice there. So, you know, 8/10 quicker than anybody else. Delta Lima picks up a time penalty. And Will, I have no idea why Dace is mad. I missed it on the stream. So I'm not sure what happened there. Cornet, another 3-second time penalty. Medwards. So Medwards is exiting the pits. Medwards is exiting the pits, should I say. So he's gone onto the soft tyres for the final 7 laps of the race. So those softs will be mega fresh still at the end of the race. Mr. Woot, currently P7. Let's work out these time penalties. If we can get the interval back up. So the driver is 5 seconds behind Domi ahead with 9 seconds. Will it be best to do the leader? Yes, a leader. So he's going to be ahead of Toss and Domi. And with the tyre advantage, he might even get on the podium here. With the tyre advantage, if he can make these softs last and do some good laps, he could even get a P3 here and jump Lasser onto the podium.
Well, it's game on for Mr. Woot now.
It is. Let's hope Mr. Woot can get his first SFR podium.
Ready?
Yellow flag in sector 3. We have a car off. Who was that? I can't find it. It's an it was a dark blue car, but I can't find it. Where is it?
Funny. It's last.
Cornet. Oh dear. Horrible race from Cornet. 18 seconds worth of time penalties.
It was Medwards went off for the S's.
Oh, was it? But Cornet's there as well. Will's just... Oh, Cornet's making some huge oversteers. So that's really unfortunate for Medwards. He was having a really good race. And one mistake has dropped him down way out of the chance of points. So yeah, I don't know what Cornet was doing. Was he having a moment? Are you talking to him, Will? Let us know in the comments what he was doing.
Well, Will is also asking what the fuck is Cornet doing, so...
Yeah. Maybe Will just wanted us to say his name on the stream. You never know. He wants to be famous. Cornet, you clown. He's calling him a clown now. So Mr. Woot is in P6. Doing very well. Fumph is currently a second and a half behind Lasser, so Fumph will get this podium position with Lasser 6 seconds worth of time penalties. What's happening?
Domi is on fresh soft.
Yes. Yes, Will, you have internet fame. Will Anstey, at Will Anstey. I don't know what your socials are, I'm not going to big you up too much. Currently 6/10 behind. Maybe write your socials down in the comments and people can... You might get one new follower. A robot from Russia.
It won't be me.
Currently 4/10 behind Lasser now, with the fresh soft tyres compared to Lasser's mediums. Lasser is a bit of a weaver on the straight. He doesn't keep it in a straight line. He doesn't make his one move, I find.
I think he just told him go past.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, because Fumph has just given him a little wiggle. So yeah, Fumph is now chasing down Holmesy, who's got 12 seconds of penalties, and Fumph hasn't got any. So at the minute, Fumph is currently in P2. Rogers has picked up another 3-second time penalty. They say another, only a second one, but he's got 6 seconds worth of penalties. So what does that do for... Well, Fumph is currently 24 seconds behind him. So... yeah, Delta is happened to P13 now. Teduardo in P14. Red Dog's pitted. Those hards are probably... a little bit worse for wear.
I have to say I'm very, very impressed by Mr. Wu. Started P16, is now in a net P5. What's this gap to Honzi, who just picked up another penalty? Gap to Honzi is 18 seconds.
Right, you're going to be in charge for a minute, so I'll be back in just a second.
Alright. So what
I'm riding on board with AA.
Okay. So I don't know if Missy can get Toss, Lasse and Holmesy. Really has to push those last 3.5, 4 laps. But still a very, very great race from him. He's up into P6 on track, starting P16, doesn't have a penalty yet. So yeah, great race from him. Honzi, on the other hand, he is in a P2 on track, but very, very un-Honzi-like, I guess you could say. Of him getting those 15 seconds of penalties. He usually doesn't get any, maybe 1 or 2, depending on the track. But last time he raced here, he only got 3 seconds, so probably really just said, I don't care. Whatever, I will just race. Couldn't cross in P3, but P2 on track. Rogers just completely dominated. Delta couldn't through the side. I'm sorry, Delta, but I have to say it. Lots of practice doing that. Getting left and letting cars go past you.
I'm back. Mr. Woot has just tossed the caber.
Yep, just one pass. I was too busy taking shots at Delta, I'm sorry.
Oh, were you? Was he joining you in the... or was he just ignoring you?
He hasn't said anything, he hasn't responded to what I said.
Rogers is coming up to lap Delta, I think, or is that Ted? No, Ted. He's already lapped Delta.
Whatever.
I was saying that he has a lot of practice letting cars by.
I mean, you're not wrong. I did spin, to be fair.
Spinala.
I spun and I was on the grass at the hairpin.
Okay.
So then by the time I turned it around, I was getting lapped and then I just pulled over.
Okay.
So there's a lap and a half left. Roger's currently running around on lap 35. Halfway through the lap. 6 seconds worth of penalties. Holmesy's got 15, Funfer's got 3, Lasse's got 6, and Mr. Woot has got... So let's do those quick maths we were talking about. At the minute, Mr. Woot needs another 3 seconds to get on the podium, I think. Yeah, Mr. Woot needs another 3 seconds.
I think he needs 4 to get past Lasse. He needs 3 to get past Holmesy for P4, and then another D, and then another 4 to get past Lasse.
Alright, so we'll keep an eye on that. He is starting to lose some time, though.
He's probably dropping off a bit.
He's 10 seconds behind Lasse, isn't he? So Lasse... Let's keep an eye on that gap. Holmesy's 18 seconds behind Rogers, as Rogers is on his last lap now.
Very dominant race.
Very dominant. The most dominant... I know Fump has dominated races this season, but he hasn't been quite as dominant as Rogers has been today. It's been a perfect drive from Rogers. I know he said his mum and dad listen to the stream every now and again, so if you're listening, drop a comment. Cheer on your son to win your first his first race. I know Fump Kugel knows his dad watches, so he's going to be a proud dad seeing his son winning the Drivers' World Championship. Any gaps? Let's get the gaps going. They're all pretty spaced out now. At the minute, AA is going to pick up some points. I don't know.
Don't miss Rogers going over the line.
Oh, is he coming up to the line? Here he goes. Henry Rogers takes. He slowly does a Max Verstappen. That's a league ban. That's a league ban. No, congratulations to Rogers. If he loses the race on that could be. You never know what could happen. Holmesy coming across the line in P2. Fumph is Holmesy doing his usual thing. Fumph does his usual thing of spinning, and yeah, so Fumph gets P2. Holmesy drops down to P4. Lasser in P3. Mr. Woot coming round, but I don't think it's going to be enough for Mr. Woot to get the position. He might just about get. No, he stays in P5. But what a drive from Mr. Woot, all the way from the back. PhD Vengeance very quietly gets himself up to P7. Fantastic. Darth Spike comes round, P8. Now we've got two drivers with 18 seconds worth of penalties to come across the line. W. slows right down, doing donuts. Yeah, we're having this definitely the end of the season, isn't it? Who else is that? What's everybody doing? AA has got P9 sewn up. Dommy Lee's got P10. Rugby is P12. Hey, Dax 247. Great drive, Rogers. We're really proud of you. You've got proud parents there, Rogers. And thanks for the comments about great commentary. It means a lot. Thank you. Medwood slows right down before the line, doing some nuts of the dough. And that is it. He was the last classified driver to cross the line who wasn't lapped. So, there we are. Driver of the day, Mr. Fumph Kugel Nice. Driver's champion, Constructors champion. But Rogers wins his first race of the season. He gets his first gold medal in the SFR Hall of Fame. So you predicted it, didn't you? You predicted the.
I did. I'm very proud of myself. I finally got a prediction right. So.
You did. So there he is, Rogers on the podium, top step with his trophy. Probably dedicating it to his mum and dad, and he gets sprayed in the face by Fumph Kugel Nice with the Ferrari champagne. Yeah, I was sort of expecting Rogers to win. I know he's a very quick driver. He just gets caught up in a few incidents that we mentioned before, but no, he's done well today. Thank you, Jack. Means a lot. Great comms. Me and Kachow haven't worked together very much, but I think we do work pretty well, don't we? We've done a few races. It's all been pretty good. So let's do the rundown quickly. We have Rogers in P1, Fumph P2, Lasser P3 on that podium. Great job from Lasser. Holmesy in P4, Mr. Woot P5, Toss the Cable P6, PhD Vengeance, very quiet drive into P7, did the job. Darth Spike P8, AA Gaming, SFR debut P9, B16, P10, rounding off the points. So unfortunately, it does look like Racing Point have got enough points to avoid the second year of Wooden Spoons, and that Wooden Spoon is going to be heading to Mercedes. It was Mercedes last year, change of drivers, and yeah, back to Mercedes this year. So unfortunately, that's how it goes. We have unfortunately lost Kachow. Let's get Rogers in the party, shall we? Let's see if we can get Rogers in the party. I've got to do it all by myself at the minute because Kachow's internet's playing silly buggers. So, where is Rogers? Rogers. Do some quick alphabetizing myself because he's R, which is down the bottom of my friends list. So Rogers has been invited into the party. Let's see if he does join. When you do join Rogers, just make sure your mic is enabled. Rogers has gone for dinner. Okie dokie. He hungry, is he? Fair enough. Let's do a quick interview with Delta then. Delta, are you there? somewhere. Somewhere. Alright, you talk to me through your race while I add some more players to the party.
For everyone by the looks of it.
Yes, it was. Very good race. Lots of overtakes. Lots of things to go through for this week's notebook. Here he is, Cornet, fellow SFR admin. How was that race for you? Started off brilliant. Not so good in the second half.
Really good. Then I had a really good battle with Dominique twice.
Yes, I mean we were watching that. Those first 2-3 laps between you and Dommy Lee was fantastic. How happy were you when he spun it into the pit lane wall?
He spun it into the pit lane.
Yeah, on the exit.
I was just trying to be smart.
No, exit of the last corner. He spun it and went in the pit lane.
Well, he overcut me, so.
Oh, okay.
It still was good for him, but then on the soft, I used a new setup I never used before, and it just didn't feel good. I had oversteer, understeer.
On the end of the stints, because at the beginning of the stint you looked pretty decent, but it was towards the end of the stint with the tyre wear.
The beginning as well, especially on the first and last stint. Well, first and third stint, so I had 5. The second stint was decent, but then just understeer, oversteer. Every time I hit a curb different, or was just trying to be fast.
So Will called you a clown in the YouTube comments. He asked what the hell you were doing. What were you doing?
Just not driving good. I think it's my worst league race ever.
Fair enough. Save it till last. Save the best till last.
And then I had wing damage because I almost spun. And I pit for tires. I put softs, but I got my previous mediums, which were 70% earlier.
Oh wow. Yeah, that's a bit silly. That's a bit silly. Cool. Well, thanks for that. Let's talk to Fumph. Fumph, are you there? The whole race muted. What do you mean?
I had my microphone off the whole race.
Who are you talking to?
And I was to corner rugby Danny days.
Oh, okay.
I'm so dumb. Yeah, hello.
Hello. How was that race for you? Last to first again. Well, last to second, should I say?
Second, yeah.
Yeah. Did you get
was nice.
Did you get deliberately disqualified?
Yeah.
You did.
On purpose.
Yeah. Those that
was...
I was expecting more donuts when you promised me donuts, and you gave me half a donut on your outlap.
I gave you around 20 donuts, but it was on my second outlap.
Yeah, you told me to watch it first.
Sorry.
You gave me half a donut. Rugby was doing better donuts than you were.
We did it at the exact time.
You did. Is that when you got disqualified when you were doing all those?
No, I just went out another lap and then I disqualified.
Oh, okay, fair enough. So how was that race for you? I didn't really see many proper overtakes. There was a lot of DRS overtakes I saw from you. Any good battles you had that you remember?
Yeah, it was the only battle I had was at the start with Rugby and some other guys, and then it was just DRS and with the other AlphaTauri, what was the name?
Dominique?
Dominique, right? I had such a fast overtake with 340 kilometers per hour. It was just wow. The speed took him around the outside in turn 1. From the race, and his KI stood 2 seconds in front of me in the fast lane in the pits, and just stood there. Nothing happened. I was just behind.
So you lost a lot of time in the pits.
Yeah, because my crew weren't ready, so around 2 seconds, and then behind him to four.
Yeah.
So in my opinion, I would have been able to get Jonesy on track.
Fair enough. So, have you got? You're obviously the drivers' championship, the SFR drivers' champion this year. You've obviously got a bit of news to give to the league. Is it something that you wanted to say this evening, or is it something you want to hold on to?
Hold on to it.
You hold on to it. Fair enough.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. No, I can say it on stream because I don't know. Extra message a few days later would be a little bit cringe, I think. Yeah, I think 1 to 2 driver knew that already, but I decided to make the Nico Rosberg to retire at the end of the season.
You're still going to be down as a reserve next season, though, aren't you? So you still maybe pop in for a few races, yeah?
Yes, that's right, but not anymore team driver for any team.
Well, to Cornet, that's probably music to Cornet's ears.
But I think when I see that Corner win the championship, then for fucking sake, I will ask the second driver in the championship for his account data, and I will drive against Corner. No, just a joke, Corner, don't kill me. Yeah, it was a nice season. Loved
Good.
it.
Yeah, good. Glad to have had you. Perfect. Well, thank you very much, Fumph. So we've got one more driver in the interview room, podiums. Mr. Woot, are you there?
Yes, hello, how are you?
Mr. Woot, very good drive. Very good, thank you. Yourself?
Thank you. Yeah, not bad, thank you. I raced back from Kent today. I might have got a speeding ticket just to try and make the race, but it was worth it, I think.
I mean...
Well worth it, Mr. Woot. Well worth it.
You sped from Kent, and then you sped in the race as well. You didn't... Well, I say you didn't speed. You one of the only drivers out of 4, I think, not to get a time penalty.
4?
Which, I think there's only 4. I think it was you... It was definitely you and Fumph who didn't get one. I'm not sure about anyone else. Yeah, Cornet didn't get a penalty unless you had 16 seconds on.
Don't.
Oh, fair play. Yeah, I just thought maybe just try not to get any penalties. Pretty simple strategy. It works.
But simple strategy, starting from what, P16, wasn't it? P16, P15?
Yeah.
And you got up to P5, wasn't it? It was very close to getting P4 at the end. I thought you might just get it. You just needed a little, probably another lap or 2.
Yeah, I was pushing to make those 3 seconds up. I think it was on Lasser, but I got it down to 8 seconds, but that last few laps he just gained another second on me, so I don't think it would. I think he had the pace anyway, to be fair.
Okay, I was trying to do quick maths, and it wasn't. I think I got it pretty much spot on. But I mean, you've had a follower today, Jack Davis, friend of yours.
Yeah, he's the head of our fan club.
The Mr. Woo fan club.
Yeah, grateful for the support, of course. It means a lot.
Yeah, he was.
There might be some signed hats going his way.
Oh, signed hat. Well, it's the end of the season. You might be able to throw him a signed steering wheel or something.
Why, no.
Oh, fuck.
Mr. Woo merch.
Yeah.
He only ships to the UK. It's too expensive to ship internationally.
Yeah. If I can throw it, that's as far as the shipping goes.
All right. Is that over the Severn Bridge? Is it?
Yeah. Well, it'll probably end up in the Severn.
Yeah, fair enough.
Exporting to South America, I don't know.
We'll get there eventually.
Yeah.
See what the currents are like. Well, thank you for joining us, Mr. Woot. Great race. Well done.
Thank you very much.
No
Speak to you
problem.
later.
Yeah, speak to you later. So, that is SFR Season 3 finished, done and dusted. Great season. Lots of great racing. lots of great things coming out of the league. We head into season 4. I was going to say season 2 then. Season 4 on the 1st of August, so do make sure you are joining us back then. NRL starts on the 8th of August. PAFR starts on the 1st of August as well. Lots of pre-season testing to come, where we change over from F1 2020 to F1 2021. Yeah, thanks for watching. If you haven't already, do make sure you like and subscribe the CCR Network YouTube channel. Plenty of races on there: PAFR, NRL, SFR, and new leagues starting up next season, RFL, the realistic F1 league. Anything else to add, Delta, or Cornet if you're still there?
Nothing from me, mate. Nothing from me. Just a massive thank you to everyone, obviously. And yeah, bring on F1 2021.
Bring it on. Let's hope I beat you.
Van Rocco, can I say something? You know I have to say
Yeah, go for it.
something always. I always have to say greetings to my dad.
Papa Fünf.
Papa 5. Ja, Saison zu Ende vorbei. Titel geholt. Beide. Und da der Corno mich nicht versteht, ich denke Corno wird das nächste Saison, er wird zwar niemals verstehen, was ich gerade Nettes sage, aber gucken, ob ich nochmal irgendwann zum Einsatz komme. And then again in English, finish with German. Yeah, again, thank you to all drivers who make this season possible. I think every driver makes something that the season was so fun for. I think the most of the grid, like it was. You need the amount of fair drivers you have in SFR. It's not often that you have so many fair drivers. And I think again, thank you to Van Rocco for the notebooks. It's not a thing that's normal for a league.
No, well that's it's obviously with me, and Delta does the magical. He's down as the notebook magician in the Discord because it is a magical thing he does.
And thank you, Delta. Good to know. Yeah, that's it. You think you are fast? You are not fast. No joke.
Not as fast as you.
I didn't say that.
Perfect. Well, thank you for joining us this season. It's been emotional, and thank you everyone for watching. That's that. That's SFR Season 3 over and out.